going by on their Harleys beeping at the house. I hope they don't want me to stop because they don't know I'm in here, so I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm busy. So here again, we have the new trinket box that is listed up on the website, lacranchecreations.com. And I used the Violence Violet. And that came out real pretty. That has an antique look to it. And you know what I'm going to do with this? Do I still have, I'm not sure if I still have, if I don't have my rubbing antique gold leafing, the kind that you can rub on your finger and go over the edge, I am going to do that to this. I don't know if it will work with my pinata. I use the Pinata Rich Gold. This is what some of the women with the top geode making channels use. Um, so I just put a tiny bit on my finger. So I'm just going to touch the top of that and see what we get. And look at that. Can you see that? And I could do the top rim. And with this pinata, you have to keep shaking it now. I don't want to pour it into the cap. I mean, I do pour it into the cap sometime, but I don't want to have to wipe out my cap and all that good stuff. So I'm going to take one of my little spoons and I'm going to try to balance it without spilling it. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to do this for a little bit here. I don't want too much dripping off my finger. I just want to be able to touch it and rub it. You know, sometimes we get overzealous and make a mess when we're trying to make something beautiful. So just want to. So here is what you can do with this beautiful silicone mold that I'm selling. Is you can do these boxes in any colors you like. And you know, you could use silver, bronze. You could actually do this with any color on these little embellish areas up that are up top. I really like that. So no sooner have I gotten it out of the mold that it's that quick to do some embellishing. I think it looks beautiful. I love it. So yeah, when you're using this Pinata Rich Gold ink, you want to keep it shook up and it separates really, really quickly. So that's something that you need to keep on top of if you're doing smaller objects where it's going to show, you know, that if one part is darker and another part is not so well done. This turned out really beautiful. I'm really loving this. So you see, even when it's fading out and it's not as deep as you could get it, it's still beautiful. Well, I'm sure glad I have all my Facebookers and YouTubers to share this stuff with. I pretty much keep to myself. So finding anyone else who's interested in doing the things that I do is not happening that often. So I'm grateful for you all. Very much so. So I could still do more to that. Also, the edges of the box can be done. So I will end up sitting and doing. Um, so this is just the lid. That's just the lid. Let me grab a little paper towel. And I took my alcohol upstairs. I had an accident last night. Let me see. Yes, I had my first spill of mixing resin. My cup went flying. And some of it got on me, got on the floor. And so I just needed to clean everything up. And I took it upstairs with me in case I found more. But I ended up using the soap and the water and vinegar. Now I have a gold spoon. It all soaked up and dried to my gold spoon. I mean, to my little plastic spoon. So we'll save that for when I want to use it with the gold. Now that's the golding spoon. So let's open up the bottom of the box. Let me see if I can. Okay. These come out very easy. I just like to make sure I have all my sides spread open. Just need to get a little bit of air behind it. Okay. And there we have it. I don't like to bend them too much because they're always just a little bit pliable, and they still come out. So let's check our lid. This lid needs a little bit of trimming. I was overkill on my, when I poured it in. So I got crazy and did my little ink embellishment when I should have been just trimming this off the very edge there. For it to have a nice little seal, we want to make sure that the edge. And you can also take a little emery board if you had to, and you could just go along the edge there. If you made a mistake with it, just make sure your edges are smooth, and then it's going to go right on. Oh, I got gold on the tip of that from being on my finger. Well, now I have gold on there. Maybe I'll do the whole little square gold. I don't want to mess with it now, but I definitely have more gold left on my fingers. I wonder if I have any on the edge of the spoon because I I I'm touching the lid before it's completely set up and dried. And what you want to do afterwards, after this ink has dried, is just go over it gently with a little brush with a little bit of clear coat on it, just to seal in your ink, and it'll give it an even prettier shine. So this box will look beautiful when it's completely embellished. So I'll have to finish that up, and then I'll have to show you how that turns out. So yeah, you can find this. And remember, when you go to my website, there are 5 coupon codes. When you go to the first page of it, you'll see featured products. Scroll down below the featured products, and then there's a little area. It's actually a blog area where I put the coupon codes into. And there's 5 different ones. And you want to copy those codes down before you start shopping around the site, so that, you know, you like what you're doing. I did this last night with those inks. I was fooling around. But I have my mat's all messed up and yucky looking. That's why I put it here. I should flip it over so that it will light up what I'm going to show you now. So we're going to open up these candy molds that I purchased at Michael's on clearance in the cake decorating aisle. And of course, I had leftover glitter from making the bookmark, so that's what went into making these gems. So I think they're pretty, 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 pretty. Even if you just made them short and tiny, just like small, then they could be used in other embellishing projects. And here's the third shape. We had a square, we had a round, and we have a rectangle. And then I just used the plain Violence Violet. And these are hues. This is from the Hue collection on the eyecandy site. The colors that I have from eyecandy that I've been using are just samples from the Hues collection. I really wanted to get some of the color shifts, but I don't think that's going to happen. I would appreciate it if companies that make that kind of thing would send me a couple samples so I could do some videos on using it and see how they are. That would be fantastic. I think they're pretty cool. I like them. I didn't think, and you don't want to ever use your molds, then go make candy or chocolates or anything in your molds now that you've used it for resin. Totally toxifies them, and it's very unhealthy, so don't be doing that kind of thing. Um, when people are making these cutting boards and that, should only do the handles and like a patch of it or something, because resin is only for incidental contact, if at all. It's a shame a lot of people are just going to town and not realizing what they're doing. There are a lot of people who are allergic to epoxy and still don't even know it. And let me tell you, I was freaking out last night when I spilled that epoxy cup, because I have had chemical burns and my eyes are very sensitive to it and my skin is sensitive to it. My nose was bleeding before from it, like where I learned how to do the pouring from, and the people I was looking up to, none of them were protecting themselves. So I thought it was okay, and I found out the very hard way. So I'm still very disappointed in how people glamorize and glorify the use of the epoxy. So this is where I'm making my little paperweight. I only sell the resin paperweights that come out. I do not sell this mold because it's not, it's just, it's, I guess I should say it's not a proper mold. It's just one that I kind of created um, in my quest for making my own geodes, and I haven't reached where I'm happy with it yet, but I do like how these come out as paperweights, so I'm still pouring them. This mold isn't going to last very long because it's already starting to tear apart. So you can see how flimsy it is, really. And I have patched the inside of it to stay in there, and it tears every time I use it. So it's just a matter of time before this isn't going to work anymore. Hi, Charlotte. How are you, hon? So this is the Eye Candy Violence Violet color. I did, I'm going to say, I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I did here. Because look at the difference of those. So what I did was I think I used both colors in here. I remember putting the Violence Violet in there, and then I remember I filled it up with the Jasmine, the Eye Candy Jasmine. So that's the Eye Candy Jasmine on this one. And that's the only one that I ended up using that on. Let me peel this little. See from where the crack was at the bottom, where it's the mold started breaking it, the tiny, teeny, minute amounts of the resin seeps in there, and then I have to peel that off. But again, I put some of the Ashland vase filler, the mirrored glass, I put inside of there because I was low on my level. I didn't fill this mold all the way up. I wanted to see what a short one would look like. This is as short as I could get it, because normally they'll be like out to here if I fill it to the top. So I wanted to see how short I could get it. In fact, here's the, you see it's a little bit shorter. I don't know if you could see that. I wanted to see how flat I can make this because I'm looking at putting them on canvases. So, if I really wanted to, I could take my clippers and I could clip this one edge here away because it's so thin. So I could take my jewelry clippers and snip this down on that one edge, because imagine this on a canvas and you're building up your other crystals and other things around it. That would look pretty cool. I think it would anyway. I don't expect people to agree with me. So that's my my geode paperweights. Every time I pour, I'm trying to pour one of these in now. And I'm going to be trying to keep pouring different colors of the boxes. So the other day I used, let's see, what color was this? Let me get it right. Aztec purple. This is the Aztec purple, which looks really blue on camera. But what it is it's purple with a blue hue to it. Aztec purple. And of course the gold leafing looks beautiful on them. So I didn't pour a lot of items last night. I was going to do another pour, but then once I spilled that cup, and it was weird because the cup spilled and it got all over different things. and then it landed on its bottom, and it was only missing about a half inch and did all that damage, and the rest of it was still in the cup and it landed on its bottom. Right, so I was like freaked out when I leaned down and I saw the cup staring at me sitting upright. I was like, what? So it did a total flip, and so I actually had to stop what I was doing and clean up and put some things down on the floor so that I could actually sit where I was sitting, because I have different throw rugs underneath of me. So I just threw something over top of it after I tried to get some up, because you'll never get all that out of a carpet. So thank God they're just like old throw rugs. And then I was able to sit back down and finish what I was doing. So just happy that I wear protection. It was a good learning experience, to say, hey, I'm glad that I was protecting myself. Yeah, it's very dangerous and toxic. So again, I used some of the Recollections Glitzy Glitter Mix, and I fooled around with some Jacquard uh, alcohol ink, the Pinata color Rich Gold. Let's remember, you want to keep these shaken up. So when you're doing your geodes and your embellishment work, please don't just think that that puddle sitting there that you have on your little paint thing is okay. You got to keep stirring it, and you may have to remix the bottle and put some more in there. That's how you get the brilliant gold, is to keep it mixed and keep it together. And then I had these Brie Reese alcohol inks I found at Michael's, 3 for $9.99. Of course, I got a little bit of a discount off of them because I was able to use 2 coupons. And I used eyecandy, Violence Violet, and eyecandy Jasmine. So this is the jasmine color, and this is the violence color. Very pretty, pretty, pretty. So that's what's going on there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on, Char. I'm going to stay on Facebook a little bit, but I'm going to end the YouTube video. People like them when they're shorter. So don't forget to go to my website, lacranchecreations.com. I have over 20 silicone molds, my crystal molds, crystal cluster molds, my super sparkle molds. Starting to put up some other druzy molds. I got another piece that I have to cast, and then I'm going to make a double. I'm going to make one of this and the new one together in a mold and have a nice double. That'll be able to be purchased. My new trinket boxes are listed up. I have lots of little dish molds. I have big dish molds that are listed up. So go check it out. Make sure you use the coupon codes. That will help you out a lot. If you spend $100, you'll get $20 off. That's one of the coupons, and they're for different types. So I have my molds listed as different types of molds. I have food grade molds listed up that are crystals. I have the super sparkle molds. So yeah, if you have any problems using any of that, please send me a message to leecranchcreations@gmail.com, or comment below, or find me on Facebook on my Facebook page, LaCranch Creations, and I'll be more than happy to help you out with that. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Rock on and make something beautiful. Ciao.